Hello and welcome to Reality TV News Update, where you'll find the most recent news, entertaining moments, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Mickey Lee was living gently, loving loudly, and attempting to move forward one ordinary moment at a time in the quiet days before the world learned her name would be spoken in the past tense. Mickey Lee was the breakout star of Big Brother 27 for millions of viewers because of his sharp wit, emotional intelligence, and fearlessness in confessionals. She was the guest at the house who laughed despite stress, wept without remorse, and discussed mental health with a candor that is uncommon on reality television. However, Mickey was just a woman in her final days, far from the competition and cameras, navigating exhaustion, hope, and the unseen weight she carried long after the show ended. After the spotlight, life when Big Brother came to an end, Mickey went home to a life that was quieter than what viewers had imagined. Interviews, messages from fans, and public appearances had quickly brought fame, but it also came with pressure. Friends later shared that Mickey struggled with the sudden shift from constant human presence to long stretches of solitude. Nonetheless, she was determined to restore equilibrium. She frequently talked about slowing down and finding joy in small rituals like morning walks, writing in journals, and cooking meals rather than ordering takeout. She had actual plans for the foreseeable future: a podcast devoted to mental health, a possible independent return to television, even rumors of her returning to school, which she had put off for years. A close friend stated she wanted her next chapter to be softer. She no longer wanted to chase chaos. Weight that she didn't show. Changes were noticed by those closest to Mickey, but nothing alarming. She had more energy than usual and sometimes made last-minute plans. Like she had done in the Big Brother house when her emotions were running high, she made a joke about being burnt out and dismissed concerns with humor. She felt everything so deeply that few people knew. To the point of self-sacrifice, Mickey had always been sympathetic. She took in the pain of others and frequently downplayed her own. She spent hours on the phone in the weeks leading up to her death, reassuring friends, responding to fans who shared their struggles, and checking in on family members, occasionally forgetting to take a break for herself. Her sister later stated she was the caretaker. She couldn't figure out how to stop being strong. Peaceful holiday season. There were mixed feelings when the holiday season started. Mickey enjoyed Christmas for its lights, music, and sense of reminiscence, but it also brought to her thoughts of loss and distance. She decided that year not to attend any large gatherings or make any public appearances, preferring to spend the holiday in a smaller, more intimate setting. She expressed her appreciation to her friends by sending voice notes rather than text messages on Christmas Eve. "Please know I love you deeply, even if I don't always say it," read one message at the end. It did not sound like a farewell to anyone. She continued to plan for January. She discussed traveling. Self-care retreats were saved to her calendar. She promised to listen to her body better. The last days. Mickey was said to have become more tired in the days leading up to her death. She mentioned feeling off, but nothing that sent her to the emergency room. She shared the belief of many others that rest would suffice. Her most recent activity on social media was straightforward. No drama, no cryptic messages. A reprint of a song's healing lyric. A comment praising a fellow Big Brother contestant. A heart emoji beneath a fan's appreciation for her openness about anxiety. It was typical, incredibly normal. Because of that, the news was so devastating. The moment when everything went away. Disbelief spread more quickly than facts when the news of Mickey Lee's death at the age of 35 broke. Pages were repeatedly refreshed by fans in the hope of being updated. "This can't be real," fellow reality stars wrote, with emojis of broken hearts and shocked messages. The shock was indescribable for her family. They later said in a statement that Mickey died suddenly and asked for privacy as they dealt with the loss. They made it clear that she was loved very much, and that her life should be remembered for its light, not for how it ended. The statement read, "We lost our daughter, sister, and best friend. She instilled a sense of warmth in every room she entered." Grief in the spotlight. It can be difficult to grieve a public figure. Mickey was regarded by fans as a friend, a person they had witnessed grow, laugh, and cry in real time. She was a private person for her loved ones, and her most vulnerable moments were never meant to be shared with the world. There were many tributes, stories of late-night conversations, and Mickey providing comfort when the cameras were off were shared by former house guests. In a post, viewers described how her sincerity helped them feel less alone in their darkest times. One fan wrote, "I saved her without knowing it." Exactly who Mickey Lee was. In addition to the episodes and edits, Mickey was thoughtful, creative, and incredibly human. She enjoyed quiet coffee shops, old movies, and handwritten letters. She hated conflict, but she accepted it when it was necessary. She was of the opinion that healing was not linear, and that growth was messy. Most importantly, she was of the opinion that individuals deserved compassion, even when they didn't show it to themselves. Mickey was not a tragic figure during her final days. She had a life, hoping, planning, loving. And that is how her family wants to be remembered, not by how long she lived, but by how much she enjoyed life. A remaining legacy. The story of Mickey Lee does not end when she dies. It persists in the discussions she initiated about mental health, in the courage she displayed by being frank about her feelings on national television. She gave freely and quietly, without expecting anything in return. In her final days, we remember a difficult truth. You never truly know what a person is carrying. Additionally, they serve as a reminder that even a brief life can have lasting effects. That is what Mickey Lee did. She was valuable.
Mickey Lee lived a quiet life in the days leading up to her sudden death, far from the bright lights and constant monitoring that had once defined her Big Brother experience. She would forever be remembered by the general public as the emotionally brave houseguest from Big Brother 27, the woman who spoke openly, wept freely, and carried herself with rare empathy. Mickey, on the other hand, was merely herself during her final days, reflective, worn out, hopeful, and utterly human. After reality television, Mickey struggled with the adjustment that many reality stars experience but rarely discuss after leaving the Big Brother house. The show's intensity, constant cameras, emotional pressure, and judgment from the public didn't go away overnight. Opportunity came with fame, but also scrutiny and expectation. Mickey, according to friends, attempted to maintain her peace by withdrawing from the spotlight. She put off several appearances and concentrated on getting grounded. She stated that she desired a slower lifestyle centered on purpose rather than performance. Mickey spent more time at home writing in her journal, reading, and resuming her filming routines. She cooked once more. She didn't sleep. She made an effort to listen to her body. A close friend later shared, she was learning how to be still, and that was difficult for her. A soul who cares deeply. Mickey was well known for prioritizing others. She kept in touch with fans who sent her messages about anxiety, loneliness, and self-doubt, even after the show. She responded whenever she could, sometimes staying up late to reassure strangers who had the impression that her sincerity on television had been seen. Her closest friends and family noticed that she was frequently worn out, but Mickey ignored it. She promised to rest after the holidays and made a joke about needing a long vacation. She, like many others, underestimated the amount of weight she was carrying. Her sister said she didn't like worrying people, so she kept things light, even when she was struggling. The festive season. Mickey's mood was reflective as Christmas was getting closer. Despite her love for the season, she found it emotionally difficult. She carried more than usual the weight of expectations, memories, and distance. She decided to spend the holiday with a smaller group of loved ones and avoided large gatherings. Mickey left voice messages for his loved ones on Christmas Eve. Thank yous, inside jokes, and reminders of love were all part of her sincere and warm speech. Mickey once said, "I'm proud of how far we've all come," as one friend later recalled. It sounded like gratitude at the time. In retrospect, it seemed heavier. However, there was no sense of closure. Mickey discussed his plans for the coming year. She talked about wanting to travel, starting a project focused on wellness, and finally giving herself more priority. She was of the opinion that rest would reset everything. Days previous, Mickey reportedly became increasingly tired in her final days. She admitted to a friend that she was off, but that nothing seemed urgent. She rested more, canceled a few plans, and promised to check in soon. Her presence on social media remained calm and routine. She shared a song lyric about healing, liked posts from fellow Big Brother alumni, and was kind to fans. The quiet digital footprint of a person going about their day-to-day life was all that was left. No alarming messages, no dramatic goodbyes. The loss was so shocking due to this normalcy. The information that changed everything. Everyone in Big Brother and beyond was shocked to hear that Mickey Lee had passed away suddenly at the age of 35. Fans checked their feeds in the hope that the reports were false. In stunned tributes, former house guests described her as kind, genuine, and unforgettable. In a statement, Mickey's family requested privacy, confirmed her passing, and emphasized how much she was loved. Instead of speculating about her death, they asked the public to remember her for her compassion and light. "Our hearts are broken," the statement read. Mickey was a daughter, sister, and friend whose love had no boundaries. Remembering and grieving. Mickey's grief felt personal to fans. In real time, they had observed her deal with conflict, vulnerability, and growth. She didn't pretend to be perfect, and she wasn't. She was likable because of her sincerity. Numerous messages from individuals claimed that Mickey helped them feel less alone. Her openness about anxiety and emotional health was credited with inspiring them to seek assistance. One fan wrote, "She made me feel normal, like it was acceptable to feel deeply." Who Mickey was outside of television. Mickey Lee was creative and introspective outside of television. She enjoyed meaningful conversations, handwritten notes, and music. She frequently asserted that discomfort was the beginning of growth and that healing was not linear. Kindness and authenticity were more important than winning. Mickey's final days were not marked by tragedy. She was living. She made plans, showed love, and hoped for peace. Although her life was full of impact, her sudden and heartbreaking death was unexpected. A legacy to last. The conversations she sparked and her example of honesty live on as her legacy. She demonstrated that empathy matters even in competitive settings and that vulnerability is a sign of strength. We are reminded in her final days of how fragile life can be and how crucial it is to check in, rest, and show grace to ourselves and others. Mickey Lee mattered. Her voice mattered. She continues to be heard even when she is not present.